Hi, I'm Linda. Welcome to my channel, New Age Beauty, which is all about aging beautifully, mind, body, and spirit. Well, this month I celebrated two major milestones. The first was I turned 50 for the 26th time, and I also moved to a new real estate brokerage. I'm an agent, and I had been with one for 15 years, and now I just joined TTR Sotheby's in Washington, D.C. So those are two major events. And so, because I love makeup and have ever since I was a model in the 70s, I celebrated by going makeup shopping. Well, today starts the semi-annual Sephora sale where you can save 10 up to 30% off of everything on their site. So I thought I would share my favorites in case you happen to be looking for some new products. On my channel, I explore what's possible, what's worth doing, and how we can all exceed our own expectations for aging by shifting our mindset, shifting it from growing old to growing bold and setting bold goals for yourself. So if you're like me and you want to live the best life possible for as long as possible, this channel is going to help you look more beautiful, feel more confident, get physically stronger, and more powerful mentally. So the way the sale works is if you are an insider, you get 10% off everything. If you're a VIB member, you get 15% off. And if you're a Rouge member like me, you get 20%. And everyone gets 30% off of any Sephora brand products. If you're not a member of one of these insider clubs, I'm going to put a link below so you can sign up. It's free. So I put together my top 3 choices by category, and I'm just going to give a really brief overview of each one and why I recommend it. So on to foundations. My newest discovery and current favorite is Makeup by Mario's Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. Comes in 32 colors. I am a 2N. What amazes me about this foundation is no matter how much you put on, your skin looks like skin. So you can put a little on, blend it well, or just layer it on. And it'll look the same. It'll just give you more coverage. It is a medium coverage. And like it says, weightless. It really does. You don't feel like you have any foundation on. This has just been so impressive to me. And this sells for $48. So the second one I just talked about in a video I did last week. It's Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. And this really is more of a serum than it is a foundation, but it gives just enough coverage that you feel like you have a little bit. So if you just want to run out and do a few errands and don't feel like you need a complete makeup look, then you might really love this. It blends so easily, and the video I did was about how you can put on makeup really quickly. Well, having very blendable products is a key part of that, and this just blends immediately as soon as you put it on the skin. It's very liquidy, so you look like you have some coverage, but you feel like you have nothing on your skin except some serum. It comes in 19 colors, and mine is color number 2, and it sells for $39. So the next one has been a favorite of mine for a while. This is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect 24-Hour Multi-Use Foundation Stick. This is the only foundation stick that has ever worked for me. Most of the other ones have either sunk into the pores or made your skin look dry because it would cling onto dry patches. This one just makes your skin look perfect. You can put on a little bit. It blends really easily, which is another thing I really like, but you can also layer it on. So for me, this is more what I would wear for a special event, whereas the serum, the Yummy Skin, would be for an everyday run out the door look. And then the new one by Mario is my everyday look where I want to look finished and buttoned up, but it's easy to put on and blend and makes your skin feel just delicious. This also comes in 25 colors, of which 7 are new. So if you looked in the past and didn't have a color that worked for you, you might want to try again. So I wear 1W. So the W stands for warm. That's surprising because most warm tones are too yellow for me, everything turns orange on me, it seems. That's why I don't wear much bronzer. But I don't know if you can see this. This is more of a beige tone. It doesn't really have a yellow undertone in it. So just as an FYI, I think they do tend to be a little bit more on the cool neutral side. So now we're on to my top 3 concealers, and the first one is brand new. And I'm not sure how you pronounce it, LYS Beauty. So I don't know if it's Lee's, Lies, or LYS. It retails for $24, and it feels like a $40, $50 concealer in terms of the packaging. It's heavy, feels like metal, has two little glass windows or acrylic windows so you can see the product through it. But what's really different about it is it has a sponge tip applicator, which I really like. So you have to click it a few times and then press it down to get the product to come out. But you can see just what coverage it has. And yet it's very creamy and radiant. I just love this. And what it's actually called the Bright Start Creamy Buildable Coverage Airbrush Concealer. Comes in 26 colors, and I have light neutral 3. So for every day, I absolutely love this concealer, although it does have quite a bit of coverage, so it can also go beyond just every day. The next one is new to me. It's the Very Valentino 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Concealer. Comes in 24 colors. I actually have it in 2 different colors, and I'm going to put that in the description box below. I like to have a concealer that's pretty much the color of the skin under your eyes and one that's lighter to brighten up the inner corners and the nose and different areas of the face, almost like a contouring product. But what I love about this one, it has a really beautiful radiant finish, and it has concealer, but it doesn't seem thick at all. It feels almost weightless. And this one comes in 20 different colors. And the next one I have talked about before, it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. And this one comes in 30 colors. I have 1W. So this one, I consider this to be more of a matte, whereas the Valentino one has more of a radiant finish, so there's a little bit of sheen to it. And the LYS has a bit of a sheen as well. But this one, if you are looking for a concealer that's going to go with you all day and all night, and you do not have to worry about how you look, this is the one for you. And so anyway, the difference is I look at the LYS kind of for an everyday, the Valentino for if you're trying to look a little more finished and do a little bit of contouring, and then this one for special occasions for sure. But I would also mix this with some of the Valentino again to brighten up some of the other areas. I do find this one to be a little bit drying, so I make sure I put on a good under eye moisturizer before I apply it. So the next product I love, 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 and it's replaced my Dior contour stick and my Westman Atelier contour stick and my Victoria Beckham contour stick. So this has replaced all of them, and there's no going back for me. I think she has created perfection here. It's House Labs by Lady Gaga, the Precision Sculpt Shaping Contour Stick. And you'll see this is how it comes. It's a true stick, but it blends. There's a nice transparency to it, so it blends and blurs just beautifully. So I wear the color Angle, which is the third lightest one, and how they describe it is a precision contour stick that defines and visibly lifts with a buttery texture that effortlessly blends, seamlessly shapes, and sets for 12 hours. Love, love, love. If you don't do contouring now, this is the perfect product to start with because it is so easy to use. So the next product is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Lip Plus Cheek Glow Blush with hyaluronic acid. I have a hard time saying that word. And I have this in Rosy Glow, and it comes in a total of 6 colors, and they're all beautiful. So this has almost a plumping effect. You put it on and it blends beautifully, but it does glow, literally, which is, I find the texture to be unusual for a stick format. I think that's why I love it so much. It's described as ultra hydrating, luminous blush, buildable and blendable color that lasts up to 8 hours on cheeks and lips. Now, I have not tried it on the lips. To me, it's so moist, I just think it would wear off very quickly. So I haven't bothered trying it, but they do market it as that. And it sells for $42. And my next one is one I've been using for years, the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Lip and Cheek Cream Blush Stick. So they're both saying the same thing, works for cheeks and lips. Again, I don't use it for the lips. This comes in Comes in 8 different colors. I have a couple of them, but the one that I love is Petal, and it's just a very neutral kind of pink, a little bit warm, but I think it works on most fair complected people. So this sells for $48, but it also comes in a small size that you can get for $26. The difference between these two is this one at night for sure, because of the glow that it gives. I also wear it a lot in the daytime. I do powder over it, so that tones the glow down a little. But I think if I was wearing it at night to an event, I would probably put it on over powder so that the glow really stood out. Whereas the Petal just works anytime. So a great everyday one and a great everyday or evening one. So now we're moving on to 3 different types of blushes. And the first one is the only liquid blush that I have tried that I like. And this is the YSL Make Me Blush Liquid Blush. And the reason why I like this and didn't like the others is because I think it blends well. So if you have not tried a liquid blush and you're interested in seeing how that is, I would highly recommend this one. So it comes in 10 different colors. I have number 44, which is called Nude Lavalier. So when I think a liquid blush makes sense is if you don't want a powder, because it has really great lasting power. And this one blends really, really well. How they describe it is interesting. It says it's a weightless, long-lasting liquid blush with a creamy formula that stays all day and dries like your favorite powder blush. It's ultra buildable for a healthy flush or a rush of vibrant color. So you can layer it and make it as intense as you want to. This next one is a Best of Allure winner. It's Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. It's their Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy Blush. Comes in 7 colors, and I have the color Hope. So this really surprised me. I had read some positive things about it, and what I do with it is I get my other products on, and then I put this on top after I powder because it gives just a really nice glow. So if you want a really simple, easy to use blush that has some dimension and makes your cheeks look a little bouncy, this really does that. Retails for $27. This next one I've had for a little while. It's the Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Glow Blush. And you'll see it has 3 colors in it. And what I like about this is I will take a slanted cheek brush and I will take the darker color and put it right in the under the bones of my cheekbones and go in an upward motion. And then I'll take these other 2, the lighter one with a little bit of glow in it, and go on the center of my cheek. Just gives a really nice natural flush, very easy to put on, and it sells for just $20. So it's a great, great everyday blush that can give you different effects depending on which one you apply and where you apply it. So my next one is love, love, love. It is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Palette. So if you've wanted one of these palettes, this is a great time to buy it because you do get, well, depending on what your membership rate is, if it's 20% off, you get almost $18 off, I think. So this is the palette that I have. Now, I did not order this on Sephora. I actually ordered it off the Hourglass website because then you can pick the compact to go with the palette. So this is the Deer palette on Sephora. So all of the powders are the same. It's just that the case is different. So this is showing as sold out. I hope it's not. I hope by the time you do this, because they are just yummy. So what you have here are 2 different blushes. You have a bronzer. So I don't use a lot of bronzer because they tend to be orange on me, but this one I just love. So this one I use all the time. These 2 are both what they call setting powders, and then this one is iridescent. And so you just use a brush that's not too wide, so you can grab just whichever particular product you want to use, or you can swirl it all over. So the blush I do all over after I've applied the others. The blush you just want to put right here on the cheeks up to the hairline. And then these setting powders, they're more for just blurring your skin. It really does. It gives you a really nice blurred effect. And then this gives you light and lift. So it's a little bit iridescent. I don't know if that did anything, but you get the point. So you get a whole lot of product. Each one of these is very generous pan. and so many different things you can do with it. So if this is in your budget, and even if it's sold out now, going back and buying it later, I just don't see how anybody can regret that. Gorgeous. And one thing I want to say about mature skin, you do not want to have things that are too glowy. What I love about these products is they just have a soft, almost an ethereal glow to them, but they're not really shiny. And so they are giving you just a beautiful blurring effect. I love that. So this is new to me, the Dior Forever Nude Matte and Radiant Pressed Powders. So this comes in 6 colors, and I have the light one. It also comes in a new one called Radiant, which has a little more glow in it. But these also have a glow, but very, very, very subtle. And again, ethereal. A setting powder with a translucent, radiant finish that sets makeup, blurs, and is infused with hyaluronic acid. I have such a hard time with that word. Hyaluronic acid. Anyway, gives a beautiful finish. Setting powder. And this one sells for $52. Dior is pricey. This next one is $40 and does kind of the same thing. It's not quite as radiant, so this I think is more of a special occasion. This is the One Size by Patrick Starr Boucle Silk Airbrushed Talc-Free Finishing Powder, and this is new. So the finish is very different. And when it says boucle, I mean, I think they mean that it has a little bit of bounce to it, but it just has an unusual finish. I don't know how to describe it. How they describe it is a baked finishing powder that creates an all-over airbrushed silk finish and visibly evens tone with sheer dimensional coverage in a range of flexible shades. It comes in 10 shades, and I have the one light. And it does. I mean, airbrushed is the best way to say it. So it's an alternative to this. So for me, I would wear this on a special occasion and this one every day. And then this next one is a classic, Laura Mercier, the Secret Brightening Color Correcting Long Wear Under Eye Setting Powder. So I know a lot of people are afraid of under eye setting powders. I used to just think, my God, what a terrible idea until I started doing it. But you do have to have the right kind of powder. It has to be ultra fine milled. There's a couple that I use, and this is one of them because it's specifically for the under eye area. So highly recommend. It comes in 5 different colors. It sells for $35, but it lasts forever and ever. They describe it as a lighter than air powder that visibly corrects and brightens while setting and extending concealer wear for a quick eye awakening effect. I just think this is essential for anyone who wears concealer to just set it lightly so it lasts all day and evening. So I have 3 eyeshadow palettes to share with you. One I've talked about before. This is the Natasha Denona, the Mini Eye Sculpt Eyeshadow Palette. Very, very neutral tones. It's only $27, but it is only 5 colors. Most of her palettes are much bigger, but I use this all the time. I don't hit pan on a lot of things, but already these 2 colors have already hit pan for me. And I often will wear the black as an eyeshadow, and I use the very light tone in the corner of the eyes because it's highly pigmented. So her eyeshadows are really very special the way that they blend. So this is a great price range to be able to play with her colors and experience how finely milled they are and how nicely they blend. I have it in another color as well. I'm not sure what this one is called. I'll put it in the description box. But this is all matte, and it's meant to be everyday wear, anywhere kind of palette. And then this one actually has 2 shiny ones as well. And they also work during the day or evening. But they're both very, very neutral, and just I've worn them and worn them. So love these. So what it says is these matte shades have the buttery soft signature texture you've come to love from Natasha Denona, ensuring effortless blending and layering to create any look. That's what I have on today, by the way. And the next one is a classic that if you can only have one palette, to me, it would be this one. It's the Makeup by Mario Master Matte Eyeshadow Palette, the Neutrals. So you can see it has 12 different colors in it. They're all matte, and they range from very pale, then they get a little pinker, a little more taupe, and then you have a plum and a black. You can create any eye look with these. So if you want one great palette that you will have total flexibility with, this would be the one to get, in my opinion. And it sells for $56. It's described as first of its kind neutral toned eyeshadow palette with 12 creamy buildable shades curated for every skin tone with a feather light matte finish. And then this next one is the newest one I have, and it is more for special occasions. It's the Natasha Denona Nita Nude palette. And you'll see it has just some yummy, yummy colors in it. So you get into some warmer tones, but they have a cool undertone to them. So you've got some pinks and some peaches and about three different very shiny ones, and then you have some satin ones that give a softer glow. So you can create so many different looks with this. And this sells for $82, so it is pricey, but that's because there's a lot of product in it. And it comes in two different colors. This one is called Soft, and there's another one called Dramatic. And the packaging is gorgeous. You feel like you're using a luxe product. It's heavy. The lid, it has, you can see an acrylic cover on it that adds a lot of weight to it, but also dimension. So, and the design has like a 3D sculpting to it, and then a big mirror that you would actually use. So feel like you're using a luxe product because you are. So I have three brow products to share with you. Two of them I have been using for a while, and one of them is brand new. I think it just came out. The first one is the Bobbi Brown Precision 24-Hour Ultra Slim Waterproof Eyebrow Pencil. And I use it in the gray blonde. It is an ashy gray. So with eyebrow products, to me, the most important thing is the color. So for me, I can't wear anything that like has a green tone or an orange undertone to it, so which a lot of the taupes do. And this one is more of a gray tone, gray blonde it's called. And it has a very, very narrow tip, but it's firm. It doesn't break easily, which is great. And of course, it has a spoolie, which every good brow pencil needs and has. And what I like about it, it just goes on really, really easily. It's very easy to shape your brow. And the same thing with this. I can't decide, to be honest with you, which one I like better. The other one is the Patrick Ta. And one day I'll prefer this and one day I'll prefer that. But brows are so darned important. So getting a brow pencil that you enjoy working with. I hate doing brows myself. So I want one that I don't hate using and that ends up obviously with a good effect. I have no brow from the arch down, and I have to build it up this way, make them a little bit taller. And I want to create the effects of little hairs. And that's where this third product comes in. And this is brand new. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Micro Stroke Brow Pen. And this is has a very, very, very narrow tip. And it allows you to just create very small hair-like strokes. You probably can't see that, but I've tried a lot of these before, and this is by far the best one I've ever tried. So I start with one of these two to create the shape of the brow, and then I take this and add little strokes on top of it that look like hairs. So love all three of these. The Bobbi Brown one sells for $25. The Patrick Ta one sells for $27. And this new micro pen sells for $28. So that's the brow story. So this next pencil really is a pen, and it's by Valentino. It's their V-Liner waterproof liquid eyeliner, brand new, and it is spectacular. Again, liquid eyeliner, very, very, very thin tip, but it goes on. I mean, I don't know if you can see how thin. You can create very small or much thicker very easily, depending on how you do it. It's very hard to share how the tip is shaped, but the very tip is really micro, and then it gets a little wider as it gets farther down. And so I used it on my eyes today, and so easy. Now, I wear eyelashes, so I don't wear much in the way of mascara, but I do wear the eyeliner, and this one is by far the best eyeliner I have ever used, and it does sell for $38. No idea how long it lasts because it's brand new, but having a good eyeliner is important. Next one is something I've been wearing for years and years and years. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Pro Pencil. And this is looking a little worn because it is. It's called the Anastasia Beverly Hills Highlighting and Concealing Eyebrow Pro Pen. And I use it for one thing, and that's to carve it out under the brow to create a nice shaped brow area under the brow. It's that simple. Now, once in a while, I used to use it right in the corner of the eye as well, just to brighten that area. So that's another idea. I also have used it in the past when I was wearing a very light lipstick to contour in the center of the lip. I used very little and would just put it right there, but it's good for that as well. So it comes in 3 colors. I have base 1. So it's kind of like a light, medium, and a dark tone. I have a few more pencils. And the first one is by Huda Beauty, their Creamy Coal Longwear Eye Pencil. And I use this in the waterline. I don't do it in the waterline under my eyes. I put it under the upper lid. And sometimes I'll use it to darken here, but I don't put it in the waterline. I put it kind of on the top of the lashes, if that makes any sense. But what I love about this is it doesn't transfer and it gives you a nice black line. I know a lot of people say that they prefer not doing black. I have always preferred black, whether it's mascara or eyeliner or whatever, and then I just don't use a lot of it. So, but I think it really is the best way to define your eyes. And as we get older, they need more definition. It's called a hybrid gel feel eyeliner pencil delivering maximum color payoff with the creamy glide and precision of a liquid liner and the smudge ability of a kohl pencil. Very interesting, and I see exactly what they're talking about. The color is very Vanta, which is extreme black. So I love contouring the lips. So you need different pencils to do that. And this is the only new one I have, because when I find lip pencils that work, I do try new ones, but I tend to stick with the ones I've been using a long time because I don't find the new ones to be better. But this one is strictly for contouring. It's the MPH by Mary Phillips. It's the Overliner Lip Liner Pencil. And it comes in 9 colors, but they're all very much the color of the lips. So what it does is it creates, I don't know if you can see that. It's a warm taupey color with a little bit of a chestnut undertone, I'd say, or maybe more of a rose undertone. But it's the color of my lips, only a little bit darker, which is what you want. So I take this all the way up to the very outer edge of the lip and over. That's why it's called overliner. I take it over the edge just a little. I don't go onto the skin. And I do it from the Cupid's bow, but from this point down, I go inside the lip line. So here on the lower line, I will go outside. And I will go on the skin a little bit, just on the lower lip, because you really don't see it. And then as I get closer to the corners, I will lift it up. And again, that's for lifting the lips, doing it that way. So this is a great, great, great tool for contouring your lips without adding color to it. And then I take my one I've been using a long time, Makeup Forever, the Artist Color Pencil in Wherever Walnut. And this is more of a rose tone. So you'll see it's a little darker. It's also a little creamier. So that allows you to create more of a line where you're contouring. So you do a little bit of this, and then you add this a little bit thicker, and then you put a lighter color in the center. I would always put a shine there. And that way you are bringing dimension to your lips. You can also put certainly lipstick on over the lip pencil and then something to kind of contour the center of it. So that's what I've been doing for years and years. But this is the first lip pencil in a long time that has made its way into my permanent repertoire. And I've talked about this before. I do not wear a lot of lipstick. I moisturize my lips. I've done a video about lips that you might want to take a look at. I'll link it here and then at the end as well. I don't do lip filler, but I have full lips because I do a variety of things, some for other reasons, but they have the benefit of kind of plumping your lips. And so I have very, very moist lips. So lipstick just wipes right off of me. And I don't like them to feel dry. So the few that don't wipe off of me feel too drying. This one is the only one I love and use all the time. It's by House Labs, and they actually call it their Le Monster Lip Crayon Vegan Lipstick and Lip Liner. So I put this on top of and more towards the center of the lip so that you're creating dimension. You do darkest on the outside, then you do sort of the medium tone, and then you do the lipstick right inside of that, and you blend it all together. So love this product, and it comes in 10 different colors, and I'm going to try a few more. This is light peony matte. I love this one so much that I'm not sure how much I'd wear the others, but I'm going to experiment with some. And I've also recently discovered the House Labs PhD Hybrid Lip Glaze Plumping Gloss, and I'm loving it. Very moisturizing, gives a nice sheen. It's almost a mirror finish, unlike my other glosses that I typically use. So I really love the feeling of this. And this sells for $26. And they call it a non-sticky next-gen 4-in-1 glaze that fuses a lip oil, balm, plumper, and gloss. 4 products to hydrate lips and provide burn-free plumping after 2 weeks of consistent use. So it's saying that it actually will plump your lips over time. I had not read that part, so it's new for me. I'll report back. So this is a new product to me. It was sent to me in PR. So I get a lot of skincare products in PR that I'm testing, as well as some devices. I don't get makeup. I get very few makeup products. So everything that you see here, I have purchased, and in all my videos pretty much, other than this was sent to me. And from great line. But it's called the Le Chow Chow Exfoliating Softening Peptide Lip Balm. This is unlike any product I have ever used. It's unbelievably moisturizing and just, they say balmy, and that's exactly what it feels like. It's one of the few products I'll put on in the morning and just leave it on all day. When I'm not going out, I have no other lip products on. But I've started also putting it on over my lipsticks. So what it is, an exfoliating to moisturizing lip balm with AHA plus peptides to smooth ashy, flaky skin, reduce lip wrinkles, and lock in moisture with a glossy finish. So it's hard to describe. I will just tell, it's $24. I will just tell you, if you like having moist lips that feel luxurious, this is the product. I have experimented with so many of them, and it really is special. A few more products real quick. One of them is something I just picked up when I was checking out at Sephora. It's a Tap That Puff makeup sponge, and it is unlike any other makeup sponge I've ever used, and I can't describe why. But it has almost a sticky feel to it that I don't love, but the way it puts the powder on is, it's like makes it your skin somehow. It just pushes it right into the skin, and not into, but that's how it looks. It doesn't feel that way. I mean, it is so flawless when you're finished, and I can't describe it. But it's a minor investment. So if you like having great application tools, this is something you're going to want to pick up. It's $12. And it'll be 30% off because it is a Sephora brand. I've also mentioned 2 other Sephora products that I have just ordered that I haven't gotten yet, but I love the reviews and I need something like it. One is their Blur It Loose Setting Powder, and it's a Sephora product, so it's 30% off. And the other one is a facial cleansing tool, and they are both extremely affordable. So this one, the blurring powder is $16, so less 30%, and then their cleansing tool is $9, less 30%. So a good time to experiment with things like that are Sephora brand. They tend to have great tools that are branded to them. Okay, a couple more things. Hair. So this is something I've been using for a long time, and it is the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. So as you get older and your hair gets thinner, but you still want volume, I found myself a few years ago, I was just teasing it to try and get the volume again, and then I started using red light, so my hair's gotten thicker. But still, it always needs help. So rather than styling it as much, I just use this spray under my hair, lift it up, and then it just gives it instant volume and it keeps it shiny. The early dry shampoos I hated. They were very perfumey and I just felt like they dried out my hair. I did not like what they did to it. This just gives you the volume without any downside. Very little fragrance and just makes your hair more voluminous. I hope that looks okay. And then the next thing I get from Sephora for my hair is the Bumble and Bumble Bond Building Repair Conditioner. And this has changed my hair. And you put it in after you have washed, and then you just rinse it out. It goes in for, I don't know, a minute. And it says it's a restorative condition with honey bond building complex that fortifies your hair. And I will just, it adds shine, it's color safe. It just changes the texture of your hair. It makes it feel fuller and thicker and softer and more luxurious and makes it feel like it's in much better condition. So this has been a real game changer for my hair. I used to use the K18, but this has replaced that for me. So definitely worth checking out. It sells for $38, but my God, it lasts forever. It's huge. And this next one I don't have to show you. It's upstairs, but it is the Bondi Boost Flat Iron Hair Straightener with aloe-infused ceramic plates. So I am trying desperately to save my hair, and I think it's in really good condition after having gone through a period where it was breaking and all different things. But now between hormones and different hair care products and red light therapy, it's gotten much better. But I do need a hair straightener. And every one I've used, I felt was just frying my hair. So I bought this one. It has 176 five-star reviews. It's called Bondi Boost. It does not fry my hair like the other ones did. So I'm just a huge fan of this. You don't hear it talked about that much, but if you need something like that, I strongly recommend this one. So I hope you did well in the sale. Share in the comments what you got. I'd love to see. And if you haven't joined our community yet, we're a group of like-minded women. So just click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified when I have new content. I just did a video a few days ago showing my 15-minute makeup routine that you can check out by clicking here. So I look forward to seeing you again in the future and to sharing the beauty in all of us. Wishing you a beautiful day.